So with 8.3 fast approaching, actually by the time this video is out, 8.3 will be live, so I need to change that intro. With 8.3 released this week, we get to get out with N'Zoth. That shouldn't be a shock to anyone anymore, at all. He will be the final boss for the expansion, and by just looking at in-game stuff, it's pretty clear we'll be using something to try and stop him. If you can't guess what that is, just read the title of the video again. Spoilers, that's the Forge of Origination. But before we can get into how the Forge works, what it does, and how exactly it'll help us, we need context. So, the Forge of Origination, we're just going to jump right into it, and its sister, the Forge of Whorls, were created by the Titans after the old gods were imprisoned. The Forge of Whorls is said to help Azeroth shape the Titan soul within into a sentient being, and the Forge of Origination is said to help shape the soul into a proper living, breathing Titan like the rest. So one deals with conscience, the other deals with the body. I could go more into the Forge of Whorls and how it created some life, and then how that life would go on to cause problems for the planet, but I digress. This video isn't on the Forge of Whorls, so maybe I'll make a video on it some other day. But as for the Forge of Origination, its job was to regulate the creation of the Titan within Azeroth, but that wasn't its only duty. You see, the Forge of Origination, when it was installed, was created with a failsafe, and this failsafe was targeted at the lingering presence of the old gods far beneath the planet. If it were to be that the Titan spirit within Azeroth would fall to corruption, if it were to be subdued by the void, the Forge would activate its failsafe and wipe clean the entire planet of all life, old gods included. Though I am unsure if it affects the world soul. If you have an answer to that, you can let me know in the comments. So as you might have guessed, in 8.3, the Forge of Origination is our best chance against N'Zoth. Just, the thing is, the failsafe was created to wipe out everything, and since there is going to be a 9.0, spoilers I know, that means we aren't going to use it to wipe out all life. We still need to deal with Sylvanas, though a preferable alternative to some would just be to ignite the planet as if it were the prehistoric era. But what I am trying to say here is that we can't use the Forge of Origination in its actual powered state. We would need to concentrate its power, and this is something that has actually been done before. Many years ago, like a lot of years ago, pre-Sundering even, the Mogu, led by Lei Shin, the Thunder King, defeated Ra, keeper of Anchorage, and learned of the Titans' defeat, their plans, the world soul, and the forges of Azeroth. With this knowledge, he proclaimed that he would continue the legacy of the Titans and defend Azeroth by, you guessed it, invading Uldum to try and take the Forge of Origination. As you might have expected, that did not go well, and the Tol'vir assigned to guard the Titan facility adjusted the weapon and used the Forge to fire on the surrounding area, killing everything within a certain radius. Fun fact, Uldum was once a jungle, and the Forge of Origination turned it into a barren wasteland. That's why there's a desert down there. But the problem with using that example is that the Tol'vir had to configure the Forge to use it without wiping out all of life on the planet. And because of that, it might not have been functioning at full power. And if that's the case, it might be enough to kill the Mogu, kill all life in the area, sure, but an old god? An actual, unbound old god without the chains? I have doubts. I have doubts that's going to work. He might be the weakest of the four known old gods, but he is still an old god. To us, he is just as much of a threat as Yogg-Saron or Cthulhu would be, so call me skeptical if I believe the Forge won't defeat N'Zoth. It might weaken him, but it definitely won't kill him. But let's say that it does. Let's say the Forge works and N'Zoth dies. He is still connected to Azeroth. The entire reason behind imprisoning the old gods rather than killing them was because their deaths would hurt the Titan spirit within, and with how weak Azeroth is at the moment, she would probably die, and who knows what that would mean for all the people living on Azeroth. And so that leads me to my final point. If the Forge won't work, what will? Well, my friends, there is a blade. One that is empty and ready for use, one that could imprison an old god and save a planet. We should all know what that dagger is, and if you don't, You can leave your guesses, as well as all questions, comments, and concerns regarding this video, WoW, or its lore, in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching.